Hey guys, Steve Areno Cool Kits, Revell 51 Henry J again, part 1. Take 1. Boom. All right. Hey, okay. Well, we got the 51 Henry J. Just arrived in the mail, and I thought I would start this one with an unboxing. So, man, didn't this guy do a nice job packing this for me? Look at that. He put the cardboard there, which, you know, and he labeled top. Thumbs up on that. Way to go, because you know, we don't want to cut through the box top, but he did extra, you know, belt and suspenders on this by making sure that there was plenty of wrapping down in here. So let's go ahead and get this out and see what we got. Okay, let's see here. All right, okay, dokie. Let's see. Yeah, all right. Now I built this kit once before, and you know, you know, we have those kits, right? Which just, I don't know, they're kind of like the one that we really like. Now, this particular car has a special place in my heart because when I was a kid growing up in, you know, suburbia in the 60s, late 60s, and I've kind of made hints and references to that type of life back in there, you know, riding up and down the street on our Stingray bicycles, going to you know, Shortstop, and that was even before 7-Eleven. They had this thing called Shortstop, and getting Slurpees, and, you know, mowing lawns on Saturday, and, you know, getting haircuts.
New PF Flyer adventure on the volcano. Race was flashing a message. He ran like the wind. Lucky he was wearing, so you run your fastest and jump your highest.
And, you know, sissy bars and slicks, and, you know, and apple crate bikes and orange crate bikes, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Well, a friend of mine who lived down the street, his dad was a checker at a small grocery store chain, and he had one of these 51 Henry J's in the driveway. It, you know, like a lot of dads in those days, you know, it was a dream car, going to restore it someday type thing, and it was shoved up there in the driveway on the side. And, you know, the thing about living in track house suburbia development is there were like 3 floor plans, and there were like 4 elevations, and you could order this plan with that elevation. So you could pretty much close your eyes, and if you knew what kind of floor plan your friend lived in, you know, you could, you know, you could figure out where they were, and like, you know, what they're living, your same living room you had, same layout, etc. You know. It's like that episode, Saturday Night Live, of Leave It to Beaverville, you know, where he goes to one house to the next house and everything's in the same place. It was that the way it was when I grew up. And gosh, there were about 500 homes in there, but they were all kind of the same. Anyway, my friend's dad had one of these shoved up in the driveway, and it was that green, oxidized green color. And, you know, my plan was to save my nickels and save my dimes and buy this car because it was the only one I ever saw all around town where I was growing up. It was a pretty reasonable sized place. You know, our town was about 40,000 people, 25 to 30,000 people, and the town that completely surrounded us was about 70,000. So, you know, it kind of gives you a feel for how it was in those days. But anyway, yeah. And I just really, this car, I was digging it, you know, and my plan was to buy it. But unfortunately, they moved away, and the car went with it before I could make my move. So anyway, car's always had a special place in my heart. And man, you know, this would be the car maybe someday, man, a 1-to-1. I wouldn't mind getting one of these. I keep my eyes peeled if I ever find one around here. I mean, I don't want to drag it all the way across the United States, but if I ever find one nearby, I'm going to jump on it. So anyway, let's see what we got. Okay, so, all right, you know, thank you, you know, keeping the plastic from getting scratched. Oh, I mean, I love, like, I've had this before, and I love this green color. It's just awesome. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to do something candy green on this one, kind of a salute to that one, like I mentioned, when I was a kid growing up. Man, great, all the parts still, I mean, from 1969, all the parts still on the... well, that piece was disconnected, but everything else is still on the trees. Wow. Isn't that great? Look at that. Wow. Keep it all in the same spot. Okay, yeah, look at that. Wow, isn't that nice? Look at that. Isn't that great? I just love it the way these kits sort of, you know, people took care of them and preserved them so they make their way down into the hands of people that are going to build them. You know, nothing surprising here. I've seen all this. You know, it's the engine is nothing to write home about. And on the last time I built it, I switched it out for a Gopher 427 competition. I'm gonna obviously do something again with the engine because it's too nice of a kit to not be able to show off that engine. So, but you know, I haven't gotten any ideas. This was mainly about unboxing, so I just know that I'll do something different than that engine. Okay, there's the frame. The suspension on this kit is really tricky in the rear end. So it's got some half leaf springs and some traction bars, and it's all cantilevered and everything else. And this is a model where you really need a building table to get it all lined up while it glues and sets in place. And you've got to go very carefully and methodically in putting this rear suspension together. Otherwise, you'll bust the shocks are integral to making it stand up and be supported to form some structural triangles back in here. So you've got to really be careful when you build this kit. Otherwise, it'll look like a hack job. Okay, and yeah, it's got those Gen 1 type tires. On this one, I might do some better tires. And I also learned, you know, what I saw when I was building it, and it turned out to be true. The front suspension, because it's put together with these sort of to be semi-steerable, which, you know, you're going to glue it. You're not going to, there's no point in making it steerable. But it's got all these parts in here, and there's just too much play and slop in here. And the wheels end up, you know, kicking out rather than standing straight up and down. So, you know, that all deserves to be addressed in the build too, to make it look right in the end. Is this the chrome stuff? Yeah, okay, this is the chrome stuff. So I will put that through my two-part dechroming process. Yeah, but you know, great that it's all here. Okay, and wrapped up in towels. And I really appreciate the guy who sold it to me taking that step. Yep, there's old newsprint type instructions. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. Still. Yeah. Okay. Well, nothing mysterious here. And that's the end of that story. So he advertised that, you know, the decals weren't here, and frankly, it wouldn't have mattered if they were, because they wouldn't have worked. I learned that on the previous build kit from the same vintage. They just don't hold. The decal material, it's not meant to make it from 1969 to 2021. So, yeah, I'm really pleased that, I mean, I know enough about this kit to be able to call it all here. And, you know, I'm not sure when I'll get to this, but I'm digging it that it's all here, and that you know, we have some great hours ahead in the future putting this together. And I'm going to just sort of, it's going to just sit in the box until I'm ready to go, because I don't, like I mentioned before, I don't do more than one model at a time. I have learned by looking at photographs of the actual model that the one part you don't get in the kit is that chrome piece that goes here. It also runs down the side here and here. So last time I evergreen built that, just this part in here to ride right below the hood. I have to go back and retrofit the last one I built, because it also should run down each side. And so I have to build that piece to go back on the previous one I built, as well as, you know, you'll want to do it right over here. Or unless you want the story to be that on this particular car, the guy removed it. But certainly on the box art, that piece you don't get in the kit is shown on the picture on the front. But I actually like the way it looks. So I'll probably scratch build that piece. Well, to be fair, guys, I kept referencing the previous build, so I thought I better show it. This is it here, last time I built it, and I built it to be similar as possible to what is shown on the box art. Obviously, the door decal critter is different, but otherwise, I tried to be as close as possible to following the box art. And so this is how it turned out last time I built it, and I just really like this kit. It's just, to me, it's and this is again, this is aftermarket 427, and I scratch built the hooker headers that I talked about in that previous video, which you can find posted on my channel. But you can see how it came out last time, right? And I just enjoyed building this kit, and it's up there with my top 2 or 3 kits that I really enjoy building, no matter what score maybe somebody else would give the kit. I like my favorite kits so far that I built are this Henry J kit and the Wild Willie Borsch. Although I enjoy building all my kits, those 2 particular kits, for I don't know, just a lot of reasons, fall into my favorite category, my top 10. All right, that's it for now. Bye.